Hi all,
Hello.
this is Dr. Jeffrey and Professor Spike, streaming live from Long Island, New York, and Lynn is with us to say a big hi. Hi, Ida Lynn.
The longest of Long Islands. Hello, Lynn. Just go back to the street.
Lynn, I'm with chart AEMD number one. I have a good feeling about AEMD. Last time I had a good feeling it went to 4 pre-market, so let's
Nice.
hope.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed on that one.
What I'm saying, it's been a weird week in that there have been winners and then non-winners. Like some of
Yeah,
the ones that we've got behind have been like listening to crickets, and some of the ones that we these out of nowhere people who claim to be virus makers are jumping all over the place.
right. Oh, look at
But
this. No more tandem to the moon.
no tandem to the moon. Well, yeah, because I guess it's like you make your money and get out, right? What's that? What did that do? Did that do anything recently? After
We cashed out at 103.
right,
Lake
it's
Shore.
99 now. So.
Lake, somehow I have a big position in Lake. So one of my bigger positions.
Yeah, I'm still
Uh,
holding that hopefully.
I don't mind.
Let's see.
Linda, I'm
There
so
we go.
manipulating AMD. I don't know if that's good or bad for you, but I'm adding to my position on a daily basis.
Look, maybe we should talk to that guy and tell him to start getting rid of the blood clots instead of the viri.
Yeah, VXRT. My wife made me buy some in her account.
Oh, yeah.
So,
That was one of the movers. The movers and the shakers.
Manischewitz, Concord Wine, the commercial. That's cute.
Yeah, man, oh, Manischewitz.
Manischewitz.
Yeah, so Sherry's asking about VXRT.
You like to get needles, or do you like to drink your vaccine? This is like the Sabin vaccine to the Salk vaccine, right? The Sabin to the Salk. To the
Save it to the soul. Exactly. Well, Jigglypuff made the right move, I think.
Oh, a complete shift from tandem to bcrx. All right.
Well, I hope that
Now we have to root for that.
you should see some upshot from that decision at some point.
Kamal is with us tonight. How you doing, Kamal?
Walmart.
I think so. 180 by which earnings? Which earnings are we talking about? No, not the next earnings, but right after that.
Well, if God forbid we end up hitting another spike.
Can you wait 6 to 8 months to get your money?
Well, 180 would would be new.
I always feel good when Clarence joins us. I know we have a resident guru from upstate New York.
Yes, indeed.
I don't know about that one. Maybe we'll give
who heard of that one? That's a new one in the. We got to keep our eyes on the new ones because that's how we lost everything else.
Mountain states.
From the Green Mountains.
Jiggly is very loquacious today.
8. That's his moon. That's his moon for Jiggly. That's his moon for BCRX. My moon is 40. But I might be dreaming.
We're gonna get right to it, and then I'll come back, and you'll let me know who joins us.
Yeah, I'll let you know if anybody comes up with any good insights. Yeah. There's one over here that clearance gives us CDNS. I never heard of that one either.
All right.
So
I'll
perhaps
see if
when we start grifting later on.
See if I can get through what I promised to get through, and maybe a little more.
Oh, CDNS. You see, I'm dyslexic in my old days. I hope that's not what the D stands for.
That's not that's a good thing to be dyslexic these days. You know, Einstein was dyslexic.
So this is what kind of play? Cadence design systems. Yeah, what the heck? That's sort of in line with where I've been going.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit away in a couple of them from biotech. I want to look at S.
Yeah. I need something stable. Like I said, biotech is like catching lightning in a bottle. And it gets very annoying.
One or two others. I don't know.
All right, now, Dr. J, before you get to these charts, let's take.
I think.
Dr. J, before you show your screen, unshow your screen and get rid of Jigglypuff's big hair, because the last comment is still up.
Oh, he does have big hair.
Yeah, and it shows on the charts. Stop being greedy, right? Very good, Tim. All right, there we go. We're in good shape now. So now we can see all the charts. Pick a stock. Pick a stock and stick with it. Well, you can't just pick one. That's like really high risk. You got to pick a couple.
Well, that's what Jiggly does. Jiggly goes all in.
Right. Maybe, you know, what is a good number? I mean, Dr. J spread out a little.
All right, this is a very nice close.
Oh, we're on Ethelon, right? Very good.
Medical, beautiful close. It was 185 less. Is it really the price? It's hard for me to believe. Because I looked at it, seemed not too long before the close, it was 180.
Right. Yeah, no, it looks, according to what I have here.
Right. Close at 185, it says.
185, yeah.
So this is this is July 10th. All right, let's just not pay attention to these numbers.
July 10th.
The chart is correct, just the numbers on top. I don't know where they came from, but we'll live with them. Now, what I like about this is fundamentally, they only have 40 patients to treat in phase 1. And they're going into the heart of the virus. So they're going into California, Texas, and the hot spots. So they're only going to open 20 sites. I don't think that's necessary. They'll wind up with 10. 4 patients to a site. They'll be done lickety-split at phase 1. And if that comes out good, as Jiggly says, can I borrow it? You want to join me on that?
I will.
To the moon. To the moon. So I'm very much looking forward to phase 1 being quick and successful. Whatever success means.
They don't really need to go through the same kind of, because it's a device. My understanding is devices don't have to go through the same. It's a different kind of rigor or a different kind of experiments when it's a device than it is a medicine.
They still have something equivalent to phase 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
It's called something else, but it's pretty much the same nonsense.
Understood. Okay.
So I mean, they call it different, but I still call it phase 1, 2, 3. Even
gotcha.
But when I had on Tim Rodell, I remarked to him, with 40 people, you can't really determine efficacy. But
right.
He said you can determine mechanism of action. And
yeah, it's a proof of concept kind of thing.
Right, and they're also going to be measuring the amount of viral load for those sickest patients on ventilators. and they're going to measure before and after to see how well the device removes the virus. So if it can clear the viral load significantly, so that remdesivir can do its job better, I could see this being a powerful 1-2 combination.
Right.
I'm very excited.
That anti-inflammatory, something like that. Yeah, he hadn't been talking about partnerships, but I'm sure.
Really am. I have to control. I'm constraining myself on this one. Not to go too
Lynn is
crazy.
wondering whether or not the device is already approved.
What did Lynn say?
If the device was already approved.
It's already approved, and it has.
No, she just said.
I don't know. I don't. It's not approved for this indication, though.
Okay, yeah, that was my understanding also.
I don't think.
Now, in terms of the fundamentals here, you're thinking as far as that gap goes, it filled the gap fine enough to have an upward swing, or are we going to still for a while?
I'm disregarding the gap, Phil. It's not good. If it fills this gap, then it's not a good sign.
Right.
Then all bets are off. So we're assuming no gap fill here. We're assuming we're forming a bottoming pattern here.
Gotcha.
So we can just put it in. But this looks like a bottoming pattern, and it's easy to spot the bottom. I mean,
yeah, no, that's what it looks like.
Yeah, so you have a bottoming pattern at $1.75.
Right.
It's the bottom is just about where between 185 175 is the bottoming pattern, and it really hasn't broken the 185 support from this candle on. Why can't I see the date? I can't see the date, but you see the candle I'm pointing to. There's two candles here, 20 hours at 185. So every candle the last week or so has had a piece at 185, and yeah. So when we closed today at 185, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So I'm very happy with the technicals, and I'm very happy with the fundamentals, and I just have, like I said, I have to control myself, or I'm liable to overdo it in terms of investment. I don't want to go crazy on this one. It's still a big gamble.
Yeah, I got you. I don't disagree. I mean, we like the guy. We like the concept. It's just something to keep on the burners. On one of the burners.
Anyway. It's the Star Wars concept. I'm like, I go crazy with these devices.
I mean, heart-lung machines and these other dialysis machines do something similar. I'm thinking that there's something special here has to do with its ability to find specific kinds of cells, and that's where the value added is here.
Yeah, I mean,
I hope that's right.
I don't know what's in that filter, but it's all about the filter, right? They're removing nanoparticles size, right? Isn't virus nanoparticle size? Not that I'm an expert.
The thing these days is something called cell definition, right? Or the marker CD. And if it could recognize particular cell differentiator, then that'd be perfect.
I should get my friend on from the University of Oklahoma Medical School, head of cell biology. Get him on one day with us.
That'd be nice. That'd be a lot of fun. Well,
he would be
fun for us.
He'd be able to shed a lot of light on a discussion like this.
Yeah, nerd fun. I'd like that.
Yeah,
whenever I tell kids, they sort of give me a sideways glance.
What a friend!
Fun for you or fun for us?
Let's try athx.
Okay, athx. I lost the faith and bailed at around 250, but it's holding on to like 270 and change the whole time, which is nice.
It's been resilient, is the word.
It's been very resilient.
Very resilient. It goes below the 255 and you get depressed when it hits the 265, and the next day it's 290.
Right. Right.
Very, very resilient. I was getting worried recently, this day here, I guess it was this day, when it had made a low at 262, my line in the sand, I was thinking 250, this candle here, 256, if it broke that, I might have sold off a few. So I was getting a little nervous. But I'm staying with it. There's nothing more to say about the pattern. We're in a consolidation pattern. We're trying to break out north of it today. Didn't really happen. Maybe tomorrow is the
You
day.
You would not call that a double bottom over there along that little path.
This
it would be too early to call it a double bottom.
No, to me it's more like this is the key support line right in here, and just right here, this low, key support, 264, 265 is key support. But if it closes below this low number, 256, I think there's big trouble.
Cut below,
Meanwhile, it's looking more and more optimistic to me as it's trying to break north of this descending trend line. We wanted to make a clean break north of the descending trend line and break this triangle pattern, which I have ending on August 3rd.
Right.
All right. So I think we get a resolution within the next couple of weeks.
Well, earnings is August 5th.
APT,
that sounds about right.
APT and Lake, by the way, are being punished because the vaccine makers are showing promising results.
That must be it. So what we have to sort of I'm wondering why I'm taking such a hit on these things that are almost guaranteed. I just have to really wait for earnings on both of them. So APT's earnings are the first week, like August 3rd. A little bit later for Lake. Lake is just announced early June, so they're going to be early September, I imagine. So if anybody's going to move on earnings, APT.
We have a similar consolidation pattern, but a bigger triangle. So you could cut this triangle size down, I suppose. But this looks too good. These three, you see these three hits on the trend line? It's just a beautiful, perfect triangle. And this is a perfect bottom. So this is a perfect triangle. I hate to fool around with it. It goes for some time though. Goes all the way out to.
Does it take you past August 5th or August 9th?
August 11 would be the. Actually, about August 9th.
Because that's the earnings date.
Yeah. Okay. So it's consistent with earnings, right?
Yes.
I like the APT and I like Lake, but I understand what's going on, that we're taking a hit because of the good news on the vaccine front. So what you have to do is not sell APT and Lake, but buy more of the vaccine makers.
For now.
Yeah.
Well, the ones that look like they might be promising.
AZN.
Well, look like we're going to be talking about a couple of the makers in a little while, the big and the little, right?
I like AZN. I think I said that the last time I went with my pick for the vaccine makers.
Which one? Who did you say? I'm sorry.
All right. AZN.
Oh, you told AstraZeneca.
It was up 8%
So
today.
the big players seem to be AstraZeneca, Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer, right? Those were the ones we talked about last week as being at least the bigger, more popular names that are playing.
Yeah.
And then then 3M said they were getting involved somewhere with somebody. They're working with MIT for testing.
Yeah, well,
So I'm not. This is a reason to stay in, but it's not a pure vaccine play. They're all COVID plays, but the vaccine play, Plus these little guys, like I said, there's these guys, VVax or immuno. They're all doubling.
VBIV and there's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Novio is another one.
These aren't really big companies, but I guess look, if they'll be big when they get bought out.
Novavax, Amazon.com. It's never the wrong time to buy, and
there is a right time, and that was yesterday.
But I had to sell some. I sold some on Friday.
You have to. You talk about that parabolic business, right? You got a nice line, it's a beautiful line, and then it goes parabolic. It's time to cash out. Yeah,
so I had to. I just had to. So I did. I sold. I didn't cash out. I just sold like 12%. And I figure my target for coming back in is between this line, and this line. Translate that into numbers. I come back in at 2,800, roughly 2,900, 2,800, and 26. 29, 26.
You're an expert line drawer, so I'm going to trust your lines. I'm just thinking in terms of the trend before the deviation.
My line in the sand on Amazon is 26. I think that holds. This low, 26.30. I think it holds. So in the worst, or maybe the best case, if you're looking to buy, you buy at about 26.80, something like that.
Can I buy it at 1,600 again, like I did at the beginning, like I cut off at the beginning of the?
Don't wish that.
I won't. I know that comes along with a lot of other bad stuff. I understand that. I'm not looking for an increase in the plague just to make a couple of shekels. Believe me.
Yeah. So what was the other A's? I had a whole bunch of A's. ARWO is one of them.
Oh yeah, your arrowheads and we already talked about.
I'm really anxious to look at AZN.
Yeah, and AstraZeneca, of course.
Of course, I like.
At least there's a foothold to the bigger vaccine makers.
Yeah,
I haven't even Johnson in a long time because people did mention how they may not be as trustworthy because
like that cap up today. I bought it down. I bought it, I think Friday or I don't know. I don't remember. But I bought it much lower, like 53 something. It hit 58. The after hours, it's 60. I think that'll win.
It's 61 now. Yeah, after hours. Wow.
I just wish I had bought more. I really like this one. I announced it on Friday, I'm sure.
Yeah, you did. We even talked about it last week, actually, on our show, on the Wednesday show.
Look, you said
you were on a shopping spree. That was one of your buys.
It doesn't mean I don't like Pfizer, and it doesn't mean I don't like Moderna. It means I like this one better.
Right.
It
did make a nice pop, and it did make a nice pop last week. You probably got it before the pop, and I got it afterwards.
Yeah,
the pop went from
53. I'm going to quote one analyst, a prominent analyst in biotechnology, and in particular on the vaccines, said they have two good shots on goal. And one of them is the Oxford vaccine, which looks really promising. So I think they could be the first to reach the finish line. So that's why I'm in it to win it with AZN. I got my money on them. So what could I tell you? And if anybody wants to get in, I think this top will now be support right in here. So if you want me to draw the line, I will, but I can just say it. 57.44. 57. Oh, let me draw a line anyway. I like to draw lines. Makes me feel happy. Draw a line.
Yeah, well, if it makes you happy.
Yeah, I like to draw. Look at how it slices that big green body too. You might get it a little lower, more like the middle of that big green body. So that would be a good place to go in if you want to go into AstraZeneca. It's not a bad idea to sprinkle a little bit of money amongst the various vaccine makers.
Yeah, I agree.
Because it's really hard to pick the winner. I like this one, but I realize it's a horse race. So, and there's going to be more than one winner. So, what was the next one that I put down on that list? My tweet.
On your tweet, well, it's going to be a little bit hard for me to find that.
I could find.
Don't you have it up on your thing? I could find it real quick. Not a big deal.
I'll let you find it.
Yeah.
I know BCRX is one of them.
All right. So your list is all the A's. Did you do AYRO?
No,
that was the other one.
It's a change of pace. It's an electric vehicle maker. And not any.
And I realized I thought ETM was a stock symbol. It actually means eyes on the money, which is funny because there is a stock symbol with the OTM that looks
right. This is pronounced arrow. This is pronounced.
All right, so this is which one is this?
Arrow.
Okay.
They
arrow.
Like 17 cents to $7 or something like that. Pulling back to the offering price at 475 and below. I believe it bottomed out today at what price is that? 234? Is that right? Yeah. That doesn't look right. Something looks amiss.
Yeah, no, I mean I'm having trouble at my I'm looking at so because
I mean it's close to 457. That it didn't trade as low as 234.
No, the range for the day looked like between 428.
Maybe it did.
So I don't think if it hit so it didn't show up on any screen.
You know what? Let me refresh this. I think it's picking up old screens, old dates.
Yeah, I mean there was at the beginning. Let's see. You don't even have 6 months on this guy. This must be a brand new stock. Or I have for the last month.
Been around
267 at the beginning of the month, and it hit a high of 818, and now it's settling in at around 4 and change.
I thought it was even lower at one point.
$2.30, the lowest it's seen.
But today,
the last month. So yeah, there is a 230 that low.
I'm confused by this candle, if it's right or not. I can't even comment because it's making me crazy looking at the chart.
Yeah, I
something doesn't look right.
Right. All right. So then let's. Now, what's fundamentally what got you?
They have a niche, 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 N-I-C-H-E, niche,
a niche. But I'm from Brooklyn. I call it a niche.
However you want to say it. Yeah, they have a little niche in that they have the LSEV market, low speed electronic vehicles. So they make little overgrown roller skates and put any electronic engine.
Right. That's why they call it light duty. I see.
Light duty.
Yeah, well, it's like a glorified bicycle with a helmet over it.
It's great for campus police, scooting around in them. It's great for special situations, corporate campuses, and so on. They also have a lightweight truck, and that maybe could be used for delivery purposes.
Yeah, I wouldn't take it to a riot though.
I like this one actually. They have it's a concept play. I like it. They teamed up with what's the name of that golf cart company? I forgot the name of it already. The big golf cart, the ones who make the golf carts. They got a partnership with them. They're subsidiary of a giant corporation. I like the moves that Rod Keller is making on this company, the CEO. So I actually bought it at just about where it is now. I bought it at $4.50, where it is after hours. I didn't buy it after hours, but I paid $4.50.
That's what it is now, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm exactly even as of now. I was also in it for a brief time and took quick profits on it when it bounced around the other day. So what I think on this one is, like most of these stocks come back to the offering price when there's a secondary. So I knew that 475 was in the cards, but it did go much lower into the threes, I believe, not into the twos, I don't think. But again, I'm confused by these numbers, so I don't want to spend too much time.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
What's the next one?
The next one is after is arrow ARWR. You're right, there were a bunch of these.
This one is for Chris.
And AMD. You're back into advanced micro.
Is one of those.
Did you really decide to do this all alphabetically ordered? Because I noticed your A's, then your B's, and then your C's.
I guess accidentally on purpose I did it that way.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but I don't think alphabetically, I'm afraid. I'm more of a stream of consciousness kind of person.
Yeah,
I won't mess up your organization.
Well, this is another one of those gene editing or skipping or whatever they call it plays. And RNAi, I think is the initials. There's so many acronyms going around that I get.
This guy had a great month.
I get confused because I don't have the memory I used to have for all these letters and numbers.
Yeah. Well, if there were numbers, you'd probably do better with them.
You're right. I do better with the numbers. So this has been a beautiful chart, as you can tell. You don't need me to say, wow.
We talked about this before the COVID. We talked about this a lot. And we hadn't talked about it in a long time. But it took a hit from COVID, and now it's climbing back.
I got out of it, I don't remember at what number, but it's way below where it is now. And I'm thinking of going into it way above where I went out of it.
At the beginning of the year, it was in the 60s. Then it went down to about 19 and a half at the peak of the COVID. And now it's climbing back to 48 and change. So if it goes back to its year beginning, it still has a lot more room.
Yeah, I like this one. I mean, the chart is just saying buy me. So I just may. It's been saying it for a long time, and I haven't bought it.
Well, I've probably been saying it since March.
Yeah, it's been saying buy me for a long time. Especially when it broke the 200-day, right? That was
well, you had to actually see it in order to notice it.
That was shouting out.
In the woods, you don't hear it.
Yeah. What else did we have?
The other one was AMD, the advanced micro devices.
Applied micro devices. Advanced micro.
Oh, applied, sorry.
No, advanced. AMAT is applied. Advanced micro devices is on a tear again, and this one earlier in the year I thought was going to 100, and it may still get there. I don't know, but it took a little break in between.
Had a big day.
took a breather.
Yeah, well, actually, it looks like one of these charts that you get on for the long term. If you think there's something moving on it, well, you'll chart it.
I think this one will get there to 100, but it's a lot slower than I thought originally.
Yeah, exactly.
It's got to break out.
There's a pretty wide channel that you could sort of buy and sell and buy and sell and buy and sell in. And we're right in the middle of that channel now, it looks like.
Yeah, it broke. It's got to break this 59 level, and then it could go back parabolic. I know Apple is threatening to make its own chips and more that kind of thing, but these chip makers, they have a pretty good business, let me tell you. Whether it's NVIDIA or this one, the good ones are solid. And this one I think is solid.
Well, certainly they make good devices.
Very solid.
If they say it's a neat processor versus an Intel processor, I'm like, fine. About 10 years ago, everyone was like, no, I don't want an AMD processor. I want the real thing. But now I
bought it under 50. I seldom talk about it because it hasn't been doing much. And bottom line is it's kind of a yawn between 50 and 59. It made a disturbing low back here, but look at the finish of the day. Very nice finish. So I wasn't concerned about the low it put in. I was concerned during the day, but the finish was quite good. It's been on
a channel.
Coming back down a little bit, but today was a nice candle. I like this one. I like this one to go to 100, but I'm not putting a time limit on it.
No.
It might take a couple of years to get to 100. Not like Tandem, not like.
We all tend to get impatient. I want my millions tomorrow.
Right, I want it tomorrow. This one looks like a year. What was the next one?
Oh, now we're starting to get to the B's because now we're at bcrx.
To the moon, says Jerry.
Let's see. 9 minutes and we just finished the A's. So strap yourself in, people.
To the moon, says Jerry.
Yeah, Linda talks about her ADHD, and I thought it was a stock symbol.
Oh no! If you have dyslexia, she could have ADHD.
Hey, believe me, I have ADHD too. I'm not trashing. I'm commiserating.
I sympathize with the movement. I don't have it, but I sympathize with the movement.
Okay. Let's see. All right. So this is the shop.
I have everything else, so it makes up for not having ADHD. Yeah. This is a nice chart. It broke out of the negative Zoom channel and it's forming a positive Zoom channel, if you will.
Well, right, because we were saying that this stock was that the chart didn't look good, but we had so much faith in it. But now the chart is actually reflect our faith.
Now the chart is saying we were right to have faith in it.
Yeah. Indeed. So, so a lot of lines there, Dr. J.
Too many.
Do we have any sense of, when I know we took a little bit of a hit, like you said, because if there's a vaccine, then these palliatives aren't going to do anything. But a vaccine is still so far off that, practically speaking, this is the way to go. Everybody's talking about remdesivir and this guy's product.
Yeah, they have a couple of they have a couple of hot ones in the pipeline. So
plus they also have a general purpose antivirals, and we know that we know that COVID's not going to be the last virus. that we'll see, unfortunately.
That's right. Unfortunately, there could be a Hong Kong flu concomitant with COVID in the winter.
That's still another issue, and that's right. So you're right. So you're still going to need the antiviral for the flu, even if you have a vaccine for the COVID.
Tamiflu has a monopoly, right?
Tamiflu, yeah, everybody loved that guy, Tamiflu. But yeah, well, I think it had a monopoly on a specific flu, the one that was around during that time.
Look how far this upper zoom line, trend line is taking us back to April with hits, a lot of hits back in April on the trend line. Ton of hits. It's a beautiful trend line, this upper one that I drew. So if it breaks out above that, we're going parabolic. Meanwhile, trade it between the lines. Hits this bottom trend. Go for it, swing trade.
So what do you think the range is these days? You think it's going to ever go below 5 again? I'm hoping not.
Ever's a long time. I'm not going to predict ever.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, if you do look back, like on this stock for like 30 years or however long it is, you do see a lot of you see a lot of correlation up when there were certain viruses, and then a sort of a dormant period.
It was only yesterday that it hit 475, right?
Say it again.
Only yesterday it hit 475. Yeah,
it went back down again a little bit, right?
Yeah. So I think it's a buy right at the bottom of this candle at about 495. What did it hit this day? 476.
Today?
Wow. That was just yesterday, 476.
Yeah, you're right, because today the low was 5. 476 was the low on the week. That was on Tuesday.
That was a little scary, that low. But, you know, we're in it for the fundamentals, right?
We're in it for the fundamentals.
But the chart looks good now. We have a confirming chart. We had a kind of meh candle today, right? Very meh.
Yeah, today there was not. Well, like you said, today the big news was about vaccines, not about palliatives.
Right.
But we'll see what happens. You know, maybe there'll be a phase. Say, all right, let's get real. The vaccine isn't going to be for at least another year yet. Let's think about what we're doing in the meantime.
Get out your quarter. Heads, we buy more. Tails, we sell.
What are we talking about now? You must be talking about CVM now, not bcrx.
Coin flip, big. I don't feel that it's more than a coin flip, but I'm in it to win it.
We're already on the seas, people. See how fast we're going?
I am in it to win it. And it's keeping me interested by holding fast.
You live in interesting times.
It's holding very nicely on this long-term trend line, isn't it?
Certainly is.
Is this the 100-day? I can't even tell. It looks red to me. No, this is
one of your ones.
100-day. This is a trend line.
Yeah.
I drew this line.
Yeah,
this is a 200-day. All right, 200-day, 100-day, 50-day, right? Like just like that, 9-day. So we're perfect.
And the 9 days, right? That's there.
9-day just crossed the 50. So we have some short-term weakness. I don't know how low it takes us, but I'm looking at this candle to be the bottom. That would be 1291. So across of that, and we're still okay. I mean, the next support would be down here at the 1212. Just don't want to see it get there, but makes you kind of think that, there's people out there that don't agree with you.
You think?
Yeah, there are a lot of shorts on this one, and that's a little scary, I have to admit it.
Well, I mean, everyone's entitled to their opinion.
You like your double bottoms, right? Here's your double bottom. Yesterday,
Yeah.
yesterday and on the 2nd of July. So we have a double bottom. The double bottom is in. Let's see if it holds.
All right.
1291 double bottom. And unconvincing but not terrible candles today, closed above trend.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll take it.
Tomorrow, well, actually, after hours, it went back up 21 cents. So that's good news.
We take it. We take it.
Right.
So
as I said, it just disappeared.
The request was Lake.
Well, we had a couple different.
I know Tim.
Since we're on the seeds, I wanted to talk to you about code.
All right, we'll do Codex and Lake. Wrap it up.
Okay. Sounds fine with me.
Well, Lake, the same thing as APT. My remarks are the same. I'm beginning to have a shipload of this. I'm convinced it's a $30 stock selling at 21, 22, whatever it feels like.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very happy to buy and keep buying for now. What would change my mind is a break of these lows down here. Then I'd have to rethink my position and but probably take a loss. So if it actually gets down that low to 1853, below that, look at the strong support. There's touches all the way down here in April.
Right.
So this is a key support level is 1853, whatever the heck it is. But meanwhile, it looks like we're putting in a bottom trying to put in a bottom right here. Let's see if it adheres to that bottom. That would be nice. And it did break the uptrend. Unfortunately, we had a nice little zoom pattern going. But let's see if we can right the ship. We broke out of it.
Well, again, this was all. We could write this off to virus to vaccine news, hopefully.
Yeah. I think so.
And like I said, once the earnings come, maybe this is a good place to buy in again. But once the earnings come,
I think the earnings
we're going to recognize
nothing short of phenomenal.
Right. Especially, right. I mean, the APT's got a 50 or so PE ratio. This one, it went up since we talked last, but it's still like around 15, maybe close to 20, but it still has plenty of upside room.
I'd like to see it get back into this big Zoom channel. In other words, I'd love to see it cross the high from yesterday, 2258. Get into like 2275 territory, then I think I might even buy more. I buy more anyway. It seems to be a habitual. This one and aemd are like favorites of mine. I own APT. I own every single one of the stocks we talked about today, except ARWR.
We have another request for Heat Biologics, HTBX. So before we even get...
That used to be a penny stock, immunotherapy. And I think it made a nice move. I used to be in this one once upon a time. So it went from 75 cents, it shot up like a rocket today.
Yeah.
It had a very nice cup and handle pattern. Very nice cup and handle pattern.
So is this another people jumping on a potential virus vaccine, or what's the deal with this guy?
Probably a COVID. Who knows? It's some kind of COVID BS.
But there's no real news today.
Every biotech stock is into COVID BS right now.
Yeah, of course.
Then they could do a secondary. That seems to be the way of the game. So do I trust this move in the blind without even looking at the news? No, I don't trust it.
You don't trust that move, right? It's just a move.
Just a move.
Right. So then
it did take this nice high out, and it looks like if you do believe in this one, maybe I should look at the reason why.
Yeah, well, there's nothing in the news, at least that I see.
I would look to buy it probably a little higher than that. I think it'll retrace some of that big green candle.
Mm-hmm.
So I would look to buy it if I really want it. I would look to buy it right here at 138. I wouldn't pay a penny more for it, as it probably will go parabolic after I say that.
Huh.
I don't know what the BS is all about.
Let's see if any news arises about it. This might be just a bunch of people speculating.
Yeah, I think this one, with the name Heat Biologics, it's got about as much chance of success as cold fusion does.
Okay. So then there was another one that people asked for. It's a similar kind of idea, Citius Pharmaceuticals, and then the only other one somebody else was talking about is IMX, which I don't remember seeing that.
I'm high on that CY, whatever it is, CYDY.
Oh, CYDY, yes. Cytidine.
Some of that. Been buying some of that.
Well, it took a nice hit. It took a nice jump today. It came up 29 cents, which is 5%. And it used to be $1 stock. Now it's $5 stock.
I added to my Walmart. I'll tell you what I did. I added to my Walmart. I added to my 3M. I bought AstraZeneca.
Mm-hmm.
What else did I do? I sold some losers. I wanted to buy more Curaleaf, and I didn't. I own a lot of Kronos. I'm happy about the pot stocks.
Let's see. I was looking at AXDX because people had discussed that, but nobody really talked about that recently. That looks like it's sort of tapering, sort of finding a sort of a stasis at around 18. Yeah, I didn't really buy. All I did was back up my other buys. I backed up my Codex. I backed up my and every chance I get, I'm buying more BCRX.
Yeah,
and I jumped with you to AstraZeneca.
I had been buying a lot of BCRX last week. I took a breather this week.
Well, if it goes back below 5, I'm going to get back in again because I was getting very optimistic. It was below 4 for the longest time, below 5 for the longest time, and then it looked like it was going to start to make its move. But these things happen.
I'm a little sour.
You have to do your Oh, somebody was talking about Penn again. That's right. I saw that one was moving up. That was the gaming.
Which one?
Penn, PENN, Penn Gaming.
Penn. Yeah.
That one went up 5 points today. That's actually took a nice move today.
Yeah, DraftKings.
I mean, then you can gamble, right?
I don't go to the casinos anymore, so I'm not that interested.
well, it doesn't have to be you. It has to be other people. Why don't you do your usual disclaimer before we head out? This way,
all our opinions are strictly our own and do not constitute investment advice. Do your own due diligence. Work with your wife, your dog, investment advisor.
Even if you buy the opposite of what I'm saying,
don't listen to
still-
anybody, except for your dog. The dogs you can always trust. If 2 barks means yes, 1 bark means no.
What does that mean? That it's not about casinos?
I don't know. I'm not into 10.
10 plus Barstool equals money.
Barstool is a gaming stock, right?
Oh, okay.
I
So it's just
think.
it's about having fun even in your house.
I'm not really,
Gambling in your house so you can actually lose your house.
I'm not really into that sector. All righty.
Jigglypuff said something funny, which was funny. He says if you're not giving investment advice, then how do they know that it's worth thanking us? Well, you don't thank us. That's it.
No, never thank us. We don't deserve thanks. First of all, people who make money watching the show, it's not because they watch the show, it's because they're sharp investors.
Right. You could tip us by telling us your great stories. And so we could say,
Flatter us all you want, but it's not anything that we say that helps you get rich. It's your own due diligence. It's your own smarts. It's how you play the game. Hasta luego, everybody.
Yes, it's good talking to you all.
Yeah, very nice talking to you all.
At least with the COVID era, his calling talking. I feel
I'm going to
like
tell my granddaughter told me a joke today. Why was 6 scared of 7? You know it?
Oh, of course I know. I got kids.
Because 7, 8, 9. Good night, everybody.
Bad joke. Good night, everybody.